Hi, your favorite uncle, and ignore the air conditioner in the back because it's hot. We are back with episode 2 of Ironheart. Let's jump right into it, shall we? So, y'all, the story ends where we left off, and Riri, through the subconscious mind, which is a very powerful thing, she decided that she wanted, AI to help her run her suit like Tony Stark did. The only difference is because Riri has a powerful mind. She actually AI'd her dead best friend into the world. So now her artificial intelligence, the one that's going to help her power the suit, is an image and likeness and memory of her dead best friend. And I know she tripping because y'all gotta see her right now. She fooling, and the AI just like, girl, relax, breathe. Breathe. Now, remember when I told y'all how this show isn't all the way black? You and I both know that a black mother would have never knocked on that door. She would have kicked at that door like SWAT, stood over you and been like, what are you doing? You and I both know these things to be true, so I don't know why Disney is trying to play in our faces like we don't have black mothers in this world. Knocking? No, my mother wish she would knock on a door. A door? She will take the door. Not the waiting to exhale reference in this movie. I do like that. They do get some black points for that. Power to the people. We got Riri there bringing the gluten-free muffins, and she's being introduced to everybody that got a cool code name, and guess who doesn't? Guess who doesn't? Like, dear, we gonna hit cool code names, y'all. We think. Do some dig. Ask ChatGPT. Not them clocking Sheila and saying, y'all, she trying to destroy our community. She is like, yes, we about to rob from her. And she was like, clock it. I like Riri like me. When we get, excuse me, when that check clear, when that direct deposit hit, matter of fact, run me it in cash. I'll pay my own taxes. So y'all, as smart as Riri is, she's kind of forgetting that this AI Natalie has all of her memories. So of course she would know all this. And now she has to drag that robot, that computer, all the way to Evanston, which is like a city outside of Chicago. I only knew that because I hung around a bunch of Chicago people, people that say they were from Chicago, but were born and raised in the same city that I was born and raised in, which is not Chicago. Not Chicago. Not even close. Hi, y'all. So here's the thing. If that lady would have pooped in my yard, I'd have threw it at her. Don't poop in my yard. You do it once, I tell you to stop, then I need to throw it at you. Maybe then you'll learn. Understood? Okay, y'all, so Joe's crying in the car because he gets blackmailed twice a day. And my thing is, too many people are too afraid to have confrontational conversations. They kind of cower and pander. I used to do this many years ago. Then one day, I realized that I'm employable and don't have to do that. See how that works when you're employable? Don't have to do that. So we got AI Natalie breaking out, and Riri's mother said, get thee behind me, saying, you know black moms be black moms. And they're like, Riri made me. Girl, he promise you that was a real black mom. She'd have knocked that painting over and got her oil and rebuked Natalie out of there. So y'all, we have Riri and Joe going back and forth, and Joe has all this missiles and biotronics and all this stuff. And then Natalie goes on to question him about, why do you have all this? And he's like, I want to be closer to my dad. And she was like, okay, that makes sense. And he's like, well, why'd you buy the suit if you're not here to help people? And Natalie don't want to tell him that she's now a criminal, a hardened criminal, soon to be hardened criminal. And I'm just like, girl, get it together. Because I'm looking at this scene like, you ain't no snitch. Please stop living by that, y'all. Snitch. At first you don't succeed, snitch and snitch again. Right, you better sing like Tweety Bird. Especially if you ain't got nothing to do with it and you was just walking by, you better say, I don't know those people. I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street and I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man. Riri and Joe are having a conversation, and we discovered that Joe hasn't touched anything. So my thing is this: how are you a tech ethicist, but you're not doing the ethical part of being the tech ethicist? So much so that Riri has to force you to hold something because you don't want your DNA to get on it. And these are the people that y'all consider smart and be given AI and all this technology and fellowship and scholarship to, because they could get a 36 on an AC. Y'all. Now we're getting a montage with Shaka Khan's Ain't Nobody, and I love this song, especially the Kelly Price version that you can see here. I'm bringing down the house. Yes, dating myself. And it's a good montage. I like a good little fight and a good little music background. It builds character. I'm gonna see if I can write a montage. That's what I'm gonna do. And of course, y'all, they were able to get in, but I would have cussed Natalie out. Here's why. Dude, I was one-track minded and you threw me off. Folks be doing the most, but now Robbie got some magic and I'm intrigued. Y'all, that man said that him and his associates want to be co-owners, anonymous, and six-figure salaries. Well, he does call himself Robin Hood. But y'all, I remember somebody rebuked Robin Hood when I was at a Christian school, and I was like, no, I still like him. So we get a scene where security guard, policeman, whatever, is holding a gun up to them, and Natalie freezes. I believe Riri gave Natalie that fear of that gun, especially what happened that night, because Natalie froze. That's something that you're going to have to work out. Now, that's a glitch. That's a kink that you're going to have to work out for, because that can't happen, especially in this line of work. Guns is always going to be pulled on you. And luckily, shoot, Parker no magic, so did what he had to do. So, y'all, the villain's toast to being bad. And Riri's starting to have second thoughts how she should, and here's why. You know this can only lead in two ways. In the grave or prison. And now people got to make these choices. So, y'all, we got AI Natalie, and she was able to send some bad stuff that says Parker is sketchy. And Riri knows this. Here's the thing. Like Riri said, we have aliens, androids, and wizards. What can be more sketchier than that? So if you know that there's a potential use of magic, utilize it. It's there for the taking. So, y'all, we get a scene where we find out that the hood is possessed, of course, and making him do stuff, of course. And he's trying to fight it, of course, but he can't, of course. Now, this brings up a good point about AI. Riri's mom said, I saw what you did with Natalie. Can you do one with Gary? Mind you, Riri was not trying to do this from the very beginning, and she had to look at her mom and be like, I'm sorry, Mom, no, I can't. Because you're not going to grieve, you're not going to mourn, you're not going to move on. You're going to be stuck, and you won't be healed. And this is where the tech ethicist, being ethical in your AI and your inventions, comes in. And I'm proud of Riri for telling her mom no. Not her being a hardened criminal, but telling her mom no. Especially a black mom, too, on top of that. Y'all, I'm so glad that Joe went over there and cut her flowers off, since that lady's dog kept pooping in his yard. He better than me. It'd have been that episode of Charmed where they had to go into the future because Phoebe got burned at the stake. Promise you. And that's the end of the episode. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and come back.